What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
Welcome to Cosmic Comics, Games and Collectibles, your zen of geekism. We carry comics old and new, magazines, toys, games like Pokemon, Magic, D&D. Want Godzilla, Ultraman, Star Trek, Ninja Turtles, Funko Pops? You'll find it all here. Shop our Cosmic Sound Room and pick up a record or two. Enjoy our Comic Coffee Lounge with a cup of Sasquatch coffee or a delicious menu item while geeking out over a super cool movie on our big screen. Come by and say hello to Maui. Cosmic Comic, Games and Collectibles. Superman loves us, and so will you.
And I'm going to open tonight's stream with a hearty and stolen hey there. Because if I were that umbrella guy, this would be a $2,000 stream night. Because somebody's going to get their ass monetized tonight. Won't be by me. I am still 76 hours short of hitting that watch hour limit. So yeah, go get 76 of your closest friends and just bring them in for the next hour or so, and we'll be fine in the morning. We'll be getting a letter from YouTube saying, "Hey, do you want to join in and get into the fun?" We're going to talk about some stuff that's going on Twitter that Joe broke this morning, but I guess I didn't see it until late. But we're going to talk about it anyway, and we're going to do a recap on we did the unboxing earlier today. This is, of course, the open mic night with live call-ins. The link for this is right at the top of the right up there, at top of the chat. You can't miss it. It's pinned. It's stuck. There are bits in the code that say "don't move," so it's there. Just click on it. Come on in. We will talk about everything going on. So we already have people waiting in the chat. We got Mike Walters. Mike, how you doing tonight, man?
All right. How about yourself, RJ?
Man, I'm doing finer than a frog's hair is the expression around here, but it's been interesting, man. Mike, of course, is the host of the Mic Stand on YouTube. That's a channel you want to catch him on that one, where he goes over sort of the news of the day. And I hope I'm not stealing your thunder on this one, because this is, I don't know how much Twitter you go over. I think you go over more published articles, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't. I actually deleted my Twitter account back at the end of 2019. It was just too much of a headache. So, I did have a couple of ideas to talk about from what I covered this last week, if need be. A couple stories I covered, like one in regards to, I guess, a remake of the Flintstones for done by Elizabeth Banks.
Another one? Okay.
Well, that was there was a Bounding into Comics article. I covered it, but I was gonna probably bring it up tonight just because I didn't know if you saw it or not.
I've seen very little about it. And I thought was she not in the first one with John Goodman, or at least the Viva, the Las Vegas one?
No, you're thinking of Elizabeth Perkins, I think.
Yeah, I am.
Elizabeth Banks. Okay, Elizabeth Banks apparently was the director of, I guess, I don't know, a more recent edition of Charlie's Angels.
Okay. Oh,
that kind of went woke.
I remember that one. Yes. Heroinberg, welcome to the show, man.
I was going to say Charlie's Angels. Hey, hi RJ, hi Mike.
Coming out from behind the scenes to step out on the stage.
Why not?
Yeah, come on in. Today was a good day. I did, this is my weekend to go see my son, which I've now gone and done. Drove 5 hours Friday night, spent the day Saturday, got up this morning, drove 5 hours back here to Arkansas.
Oh, so that's why you didn't stream on Friday.
Yeah, it'd have been dark because I'd have been in the car and it'd have been like 9 o'clock, and I've thought about it. I mean, Ethan's done it before. He starts this thing up in the car. I don't have a car mount. Don't get me started on that, because if I do, I mean, they're cheap. I bought this for the desk today.
Yeah.
This is, $5. I could knock a burglar out with this thing. It's heavy like a bike lock.
Your picture was freezing there for RJ.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
It froze for a sec. Now it's all right again.
Yeah, it's this wonderful AT&T internet with a 0.75 upload stream. So yeah, I'm surprised that you can even see me. But this is going to be my second camera on some of my streams when I do the Lego Let's Build stream. So this will be like the overhead camera.
Mm-hmm.
I had a tripod. I had this tripod, obviously a lot flimsier than something like this, which is going to clamp onto the table. This used to fall over on me. Plus, it's held together with some glue, because I've popped the holder off before trying to squeeze my cell phone into the holder. Got some cool comics in this weekend, though, when I came back. Greg Shane and Kurt Spurging and Greg Shane have got The Rascals #2 is out. So I'm looking forward to getting in and reading this one. And the tier that I ordered came with this one of a kind sketch, ink sketch from Kurt. So
They should put out CDs or Bandcamp tracks with those.
They should.
Like,
Well, this came with like a handful of stickers. I mean, just stickers and stickers and stickers and stickers. Okay, these are like bumper stickers. So I'm going to go like to the concert, the indie area, the indie arts area of downtown, and just stick them on things and wait for people to wonder where the Rascals are playing and have them, because that would be that's great marketing right there. Is you make it look like a real band and have people look up who they are.
Wait, downtown of what city?
Bentonville, Arkansas. Well, now I can't do it because now I've just confessed to being the guy who would have done it.
There's hipster areas in Bentonville.
Believe it or not, and I'm working right there in the heart of the arts district. It's a huge arts district, really. It's Bentonville.
Right.
Bentonville is Walmart, and then colleges. So it's
well, there you go. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, U of A is right there in Fayetteville, which is just 20 miles south. But there's like an art gallery across the street where I'm at. All kinds of food trucks and hipster movie theaters and ice cream parlors, and it's all under renovation too. So it's all being redone. The second package I got, almost said book. I can't say book because this was a 6-issue trade paperback of Miskatonic High, and this is by Mike Shea and Ryan Mendoza, but not just the first 6 issues collected in trade, but also where is it here? Issue number 7, 8, 9, and 10, which was the newest one they were just soliciting, which this one came with the Miss Tiz card in the back of it there. So that was the current trading card. And it came with the crossover that they did with Lovecraft PI. So you got the Lovecraft PI Miskatonic High and the Miskatonic High Lovecraft PI, 2 parts. That's interesting. 2 different crowdfunders working a 2-part story, crossing their IPs.
Very ambitious.
Very ambitious.
Crisscross when we get jump, everybody.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you. Showing your age there, Mike.
Little 90s. Huh? What was that, RJ?
You're showing your age there, man.
Well, I'm probably older. That came out when I think I was in high school. I was born in '75, so I'm like 45.
Well, I was born in '67, so I'm older than you. But yeah, very ambitious. I found these guys by accident because I was doing a little number crunching on crowdfunders. This is, I've talked about it before. I was trying to see what the history was for crowdfunders that went to a second issue and beyond and fulfilled, just to verify that yes, you do get that upward scale of people coming back and bringing new people with them
Yes,
when you prove it.
in the record industry, they call that beating the sophomore jinx.
Yes, and we've had a couple of books that hit that sophomore jinx, and they went boom. Like 65% drop out because they got their first book out, and maybe it was late. Maybe they started acting like less than professional on Twitter in front of people, and aired their dirty laundry, and nobody wanted to come back, or half the people didn't want to come back. So they also didn't have stickers with Miskatonic High, but they did have a deck of cards with a card game in it. And notice the front card on this deck here.
Dream Quest
of Critical Blast.
Oh.
They personalized the top card of the deck for backers. So this is a card with our name on it. So that's cool.
You got to be stoked for that one, man.
Yeah. Chat is active. Action Toys channel. Welcome to the show. Fireworks explode. Action comes running down the stage. He leaps and slides into the ring.
Yes, he's been doing that of late. He's been doing it even on my stream too, where he's been doing the whole wrestling intro bit now.
Oh, and hey, Critical Blast, can't wait to see what's going on in the business today. Well, Aaron, I'm not sure if this is going on in the business, but somebody's getting the business. Somebody needed attention today, and while a lot of it is old, I would expect I would at least be giddy to see something happen that I think might happen. And we got enough people here. Why don't I just bring it up here? Welcome, folks, to Twitter. If you've never heard of Twitter before,
is this Matthew Rosenberg?
No, this is not Matthew Rosenberg. I'm not stealing from your boy Zach. This is the Geek Buzz, and please do not. Standard disclaimer: please do not contact the Geek Buzz. Not that you can, because this one is ratio proofed by not being able to reply to it. So.
Wow.
The replies are locked. People who need a megaphone and not an audience.
To hear the sound of their own voice.
Yes. Well, I wonder if their voice sounds something like this. I want to talk about Comicsgate this morning. That umbrella, meaning that umbrella guy, who is follower of that philosophy, reminded me yesterday what a vile group of incels they are. Hashtag incels. Make that shit searchable. That's right.
Oh man, another twittiot.
Yes, he's a long time.
That's a term I recently came up with. These guys who like to go on Twitter and just pull the whole woke SJW garbage.
I like twats myself, but
But I came up with twittiot because twittiot, being a portmanteau of a Twitter idiot, twittiot.
That works.
What if you're a vol cell?
What in the world's a vol cell?
That means you don't do it by volunteering. No. Incel is, of course, involuntary. Which would you be a vol cell or would you just be a cell?
I wouldn't. Just a cell, yeah, cell.
You could just be married.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. Anyway, he's a longtime practitioner of yellow journalism, a carnival barker, and seldom write about anything except, everything.
Yeah.
Because, he's working from numbers and he's reading from court cases. So, anyway.
And obsessed with Amber Heard, but yeah.
Yeah, well, kind of that. Well,
on that, it's not as much. He's not obsessed with Amber Heard as much. He's obsessed more with the idea of just the whole situation of this whole Me Too movement and believe all women, and the idea that absent any proof, you just blindly believe he's for due process. That's what he's really obsessed about. He's for due process.
Right. Okay.
Plus, this is just another Harry and Meghan. Every couple has their fans, and if you keep talking about them while they're in the news, you'll keep hitting the news. So I can't fault him for that. He's found a mine of interest, and it's going to continue because this is all the trial in the UK. This shit comes to America in 2022 for the Northeastern tour. They've got a court date in Virginia for a completely different case, and it's just going to get.
That's going to be.
I don't know. It might get calmer because the UK news is sort of tabloid anyway. The news in the UK is like the exact. Well, it used to be the exact opposite of the US, where their newspapers were like tabloid, splashy, and their television was straight talking head reading the news. And here in America, our talking heads were like bombastic and splashy, and our newspapers were straight reading the news. Now it's a wash. I don't think we've got any straight news anymore. But he continues. Of course, like all yellow journalists, he doesn't care if he's right. His goal is to whip his fans into a frenzy over unsourced and created innuendo and follow up with something else outlandish as soon as his previous claims' shelf life expires. Perpetual outrage. I'm thinking I could probably Google Umbrella Guy and any of these terms and find the talking points that he's writing from.
Well, I know because I've seen some of, I haven't been following as much the Depp Heard stuff, but I know that this guy, just from the few things you've already read, whoever this clown is right here, this twitty it is, he's full of it.
Oh,
because I know I've seen Tug's videos enough to where I know he does source everything. This guy is full of it.
Yeah, and I've seen him ask about sourcings before in groups and stuff. He's like, "Where's the source for this thing?" Because he won't go forward until he's got something he can reply back to or refer back to. I mean, but the Tug stuff, this isn't even the good stuff. This guy steps on it about 5 or 6 tweets into it here, and I'm waiting to see if he stepped on a landmine or if he's just stepped in a pile of poo. I'm not quite sure which one it is yet. He gets paid for it through donations, and his rabid fan base need only to want to believe in what he's spouting to suspend their disbelief. His target lately is actress Amber Heard, and he's become an integral part of the AstroTurf online campaign to ruin her life. Okay, hands up. Who's the person who went and pooped in the bed? If we're trying to ruin Amber's life, somebody went in and pooped in her bed.
Well, it's kind of funny how this guy is all over Tug on this when Amber right now.
Okay,
he's got worse things to worry about than whether or not Tug is saying anything about her. Because I don't know if you guys heard, but the FBI is now after Amber Heard.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. Not funny, haha, but funny, interesting, is that as soon as that news started coming out, you started seeing that Umbrella Guy mentioned by journalists. And it was like, oh, I can't believe this guy. It was like distract and show something else for a minute. I don't know. I'm not interested in the Depp Heard thing myself. But when Tug gets back to talking about IDW numbers and other things,
he's done that. I mean, he's done that. I mean,
he did one recently.
Yeah, he's done a couple recently, actually, because I saw him too. You're talking about the scales numbers and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those too. Those are pretty cool.
This is an extension of his hatred for anything and anyone that represents racial tolerance. What about the Depp Heard libel divorce case has anything to do with racial tolerance? Did I don't know, did Johnny Depp kill a black person and Amber Heard has the bodies buried somewhere? I don't. He's got the buzzwords down and he's just regurgitating them. Could be also the inclusion, the LGBTQ rights, and women's rights. There we go. She's a woman. She got the trophy point for that one. He despises these things. He hates Me Too and sees Amber Heard as a trophy for his wall if only made-up charges against her would stick. Okay.
I said it before. This guy's full of it.
Yeah.
This twitty is full of it.
This is where it starts to get really good. This is the heart of Comicsgate, a subset of the alt-right, a harassment campaign which targets women, people of color, and LGBT folk in the comic book industry. Like its cousins, QAnon and MAGA, it's led to threats of violence against people who reject it.
Cousins. I don't have anything to do with any of those.
I don't either.
Wait. Did you just say cousins, like as in kissing cousins or something like that?
He's saying that Comicsgate is related to QAnon and MAGA. QAnon drove me out of my mind. MAGA, I was a Trump voter, so I'll say MAGA. I guess I had a red cap. I wasn't posing with guns in front of the flag in front of my house and saying yeah baby, but that's all it took really was to be a Trump voter to be MAGA. So I'll take the MAGA one. But there's people in Comicsgate who are not MAGA. They are not Trump supporters.
So this guy,
they make comics.
This guy, the Geek Buzz, possibly named whatever. He's destroying his own audience. First of all, he won't let anyone reply to anything he ever says unless he follows them. So that's 400 people. Only 400 people can say anything back to this guy in the whole world. And number two, on his website, the purpose of his website itself is to quote unquote oppose toxic fandom. So it's just burned into his raison d'etre, I guess.
Yes, it's his whole reason for living.
Yep.
Well, I mean, there's a term for what this guy is in right now. It's called, the term is chamber.
Yeah, echo chamber. But
yeah,
here's
more than
the tweet.
Anybody else I've seen, this guy automatically creates his own tiny echo chamber. So there it is.
Yeah. Here is the tweet, though, the creme de la creme, the piece de resistance.
Right.
And you can tell by the number of quote tweets that have gone on here. The movement is led by a known racist and bigot named Richard Meyer and a Nazi sympathizer and comics artist named Ethan Van Sciver. Boom. How quickly do we go to court? How quickly do we go to court?
Oh, boy. It's funny. Maybe not funny, ha, but funny, just, weird or whatever. They love throwing around the Nazi word, right? They love throwing that around. If you don't agree with them, then you're a Nazi. When, in all honesty, from an ideological standpoint, these people, it's funny because they love comparing Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler, right? They love comparing Trump or anybody who thought like Trump or how Trump thinks now. They love to compare him to Adolf Hitler. Yet, from an ideological standpoint, the people who are the real, quote unquote, Nazis, or those who are, as I sometimes call them, the Hitler wannabes, are these people.
They think like me, or there's something wrong with you, and we'll fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're scary. They are extremely scary, and they need to be watched on a list of some kind. Other than online death and rape threats, which means he's accusing them of online death and rape threats. When he says other than, it means he's already including that. Against female actresses and comic book writers and artists, here are a few more of their egregious actions. In 2016, welcome to 2017, folks, we're back. In 2016, female superhero... It's always 2017. It will always be. We are always living in 2017, and we are always at war with Westphalia or Eurasia, depending on, no, it'll always be whatever we say it is.
Oceania, but yes.
Oh, thank you. In 2016, female superhero Mockingbird, #Mockingbird, was on a comic book cover wearing a shirt that read, "Ask me about my feminist agenda." Hold it right there. Talk amongst yourselves.
I guess he's getting something to show us, Heroin Burger.
Oh. I actually put a Chelsea Kane book in one of our videos. It was for a joke.
Oh.
Well, okay.
I can't really make out what that says.
Okay. I see what it says.
Oh, what he just said. Oh, I get it
Yeah.
now.
That's my convention T-shirt. I love walking around comic conventions in that. I get some nice conversation because I've had people ask me, "What's your comic convention?" I'm like, we think that creators should not call their fans Nazis, and make good books." And I'm like, oh, okay, because even at conventions, you get mostly normal people. Yes, Captain Cockney, Herwinberg is correct. I was probably making a reference that I made like 20 years ago when I made that statement, and it's all changed around now since then too. This led to harassment on Twitter of writer Chelsea Kane with a drawing of Mockingbird dead with her costume torn, captioned with the T-shirt. Okay. I apparently did not see this picture, but somebody saw this picture of a dead mockingbird with her costume torn up. I'll take his word for it that somebody drew fan art, because people do that. I don't think it's. I go out on a limb and say he was probably the only person who saw it, because it didn't get the circulation.
Never saw it.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm new to Twitter.
I mean, if he's gonna claim that this is like proof and stuff too,
yeah. But you know what you can do on Twitter?
Don't you think he should then circulate it so everybody else can see it? I mean, if he's trying to prove a point, maybe he should present that evidence, as it were.
Yeah, you can put images in tweets, sir, Mr. Geek Buzz. You can put images in those things, and it'll help illustrate your point. Picture's worth 1,000 words. A July 2017 social media post by Marvel Comics assistant editor Heather Antos, who does not merit a hashtag, featuring several young female milkshakes in the memory of company veteran Flo Steinberg, drew attention from members of the movement. No, because there was no movement. It did not exist. There were several responses to the tweets. Four of them were mean tweets. 4. That's statistically negligible.
4 mean tweets out of how many?
A lot more than 4. It was a statistical.
It's basically a very minuscule percentage, basically.
Exactly. And I think it wasn't even 4. I think it was 3, or one guy posted twice. But it was not. It was not worth the effort that they put into building their little foundational charges on. Antos was described by them as a diversity hire, an unqualified bimbo, and the false rape charge type. And the group in general as fake geek girls, Tumblr virtue signalers, and the creepiest collection of stereotypical SJWs anyone could possibly imagine. He's got quotes around all these things. So again, source your quotes. You're quoting things. Did all these come from tweets, from that picture, from that day, from that year? I have no idea. He's Sir, this is Jello journalism right here. I mean, yellow journalism right here. If you are indeed any kind of a blog or website and you're putting all this out here without having anything sourced.
Yep.
Antos received rape threats. Really? I missed that too.
I don't think I've heard any kind of police reports or anything like that on said rape, threats of Heather Antos.
I would think that if Heather Antos had received a rape threat, it would have been on, CBR or Bleeding Cool, somebody who would have run with that. Certainly the Mary Sue. So.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, and if there was quote unquote a legit, rape threat, you would think also she would have maybe filed a police report about it, and there's like a possible police record on that
You would
that
think.
we could go look up.
Or just publish the text and the source of it.
Exactly.
I mean, because
Exactly.
why not? If somebody threatens you, why wouldn't you go public with it necessarily? You'd want to shame them, wouldn't you? You'd want to expose them for being
An
violent.
idiot?
Yeah,
An idiot?
Yes.
Or a twittiot in this case?
sure.
Well, welcome, George. How you doing, man?
Hi guys, how's it going? What's going on?
We're just reading a tweet thread. You've already missed the one of the highlights of it, where the guy literally calls Richard Meyer a bigot and Ethan Van Sciver a Nazi sympathizer.
Well,
we're just
the guy sounds like he's informed.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Informed from the loony bin.
Oh, he's committed to
Yeah,
his work, or should be.
yeah, he's very committed to his work.
There's an internet full of images of the Mockingbird cover, and actually several people cosplaying it as well. And there's not a single image anywhere of this supposed other image, which was supposedly produced. It's not on the internet anywhere.
Shenanigans called. Okay. Yeah. Mr. Geek Buzz, we think you're lying. If you are not lying and you actually have sources that you want to link to, pictures that you want to share, there's a link at the top of the chat here. You're welcome to jump in and talk. I will debate, disagree, think that you're dumb, but you will get the chance to talk, and no one is going to get in a shouting match with you. Because we just don't.
Well, I'll try not to.
We'll try not.
I mean, if you know me, you know I can be pretty passionate at times.
There may be energetic talking over of each other, but that would be, we wouldn't go into name calling, no ad hominems.
You know what, how you just brought that all up. I'm kind of, when you were accusing him of lying and stuff like that, I'm reminded of a scene from back in the 80s Transformers cartoon, an exchange between Megatron and Starscream, where at one point Megatron goes to Starscream, "You're either lying or you're stupid." And then in the late Christopher Collins, in a very kind of almost whiny voice, he goes, I'm stupid.
Why can't he be both? Oh, these types have been responsible for hashtag review bombing? Seriously, that's your hashtag? Sorry. Review bombing shows and movies featuring strong female and POC characters like Captain Marvel, Batwoman, Black Panther, Star Wars, and even Wonder Woman. Apparently, they couldn't stomach the latter was created and inspired by feminists. Okay, not only are you a liar, you're an idiot.
Well, let's also make sure we understand which Captain Marvel he's talking about, because there's been a few Captain Marvels over history of comics there.
Yeah, well, I think that the movie version is the one he's talking about.
The Marvel Comics version of Captain Marvel, not yes. The one that was created for Fawcett Comics.
No, this is
now known as Shazam.
This is clearly in context of movies and television shows. Apparently, we didn't like Black Panther because it had strong POC characters, even though the movie had very high reviews, was a good movie, and made a lot of money. Star Wars was not a very good movie, and Wonder Woman. First of all, Wonder Woman was a very good movie. Wonder Woman 1984 was not such a very good movie, but wasn't a complete and total disaster. And it wasn't because of Wonder Woman; it was because of Maxwell Lord. That was the part that just kind of ruined the whole thing, the plot. Which I guess if you want to take it down to the director, she was a female, so there we go. We have We hate women because a bad movie was directed by a woman. I'm really surprised he didn't go for the trifecta and bring up Ghostbusters, but apparently inspired by their relatively successful online hate campaign against Amber Heard, they briefly deployed the same tactics against Melissa Benoist, TV's Supergirl, when she revealed she'd been a victim of domestic violence. No, they did not. First of all, they don't like the show because it's a woke piece of crap in every single episode. And secondly, when she did reveal this, she got mostly sympathy, and I was one of the people like, oh, wow, well, I'm glad you came out with that. Maybe question timing of coming out with certain things. Seems like it's a lot of people save up their tragedy for when it's best time to announce it.
No,
I know. Yeah, it's like, anyway, hashtag that umbrella guy and other male domestic abuse apologists are obsessed with cases involving women who falsely accuse men of rape and abuse. No, okay, what is wrong with being obsessed with cases of women who falsely accuse men of rape and abuse? How can you be, that tells me that it's an obsession for justice. And while that does happen, incels greatly exaggerate numbers to match their worldview. Okay, what are the numbers, Mr. Journalist, Mr. The Geek Buzz? You're not telling us anything. All this rage because they can't get laid.
Okay, who are you suggesting is all this rage because they can't get laid? Are you suggesting this clown is all the rage, or are you trying to say he's suggesting?
I'm still reading it. That's his own quote. He's talking about the incels, and the incels are involuntary celibates, and he's saying it is, and that's why I hate the term incel. And I almost got in a fight, not really a fight. Somebody almost fought me at a convention because the word incel was brought up, and I said, I hate that term. And she looked over at me. We were on a panel, and she looked at me and said, and why? And I was like, well, because, we went to high school, and the whole idea of, dude, you'd be cool if you just got laid. You wouldn't be such a nerd or, whatever. And I was like, I think we've matured beyond that. And she said, well, I'm not going to talk about that anymore because we would just fight. And I'm like, we wouldn't fight. We would energetically debate. She said, no, we would fight. So that's how serious they take their SJWism. And this was 2018. So anyhow,
2018. But this guy's up to date. He went full shill on the Wonder Woman 84. At least 4 articles about how great it is. Or various aspects of how great it is.
The best part, sadly, the best part about Wonder Woman 84 was the post-credit scene.
The post-what scene?
The post-credit scene.
And
I'll spoil it. It's been out long enough. Where we see Linda Carter as the Amazon history that stayed behind and protected all the other Amazons' way out to Themyscira. I don't know, maybe we'll see her again. I don't know. That'd be nice. I would think so. This is the lot Johnny Depp fans have joined forces with. An association that will... here we're getting to the meat of his... This is why we're getting... This is why he's doing this. He's trying to use Comicsgate and the old debunked foundational data out there, data being mythology, so that he can convince the Johnny Depp fans to quit listening to Tug, and therefore Amber Heard must be correct.
Wow.
You almost have to wonder if this guy, I don't know, has something for Amber Heard or something like that.
It's called simping.
Yeah. Okay, I couldn't think of the term, but yeah, I've heard that term recently. Simping.
Simping is almost like an incel, but it's because you can't have sex with the one person you really, 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 really want to because she wouldn't touch you.
I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole, right?
Exactly. And it's a very telling partnership, teaming with someone teaming with some of society's vilest people to defend someone who keeps losing in court. Now, is Depp always losing in court? I thought he was like, scoring points every once in a while.
He hasn't lost.
He hasn't lost. I mean,
Well, he did lose a couple of cases in England there.
Yeah,
but that's because the judge was a jackass.
No, those are skirmishes, and they were refuted. When they say you lost the battle but you won the war, Johnny Depp won the war.
Oh, this is the lovely part.
Especially considering that the FBI is now after Amber Heard.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's over the donations thing, because there's money involved now, and that's when the FBI would get involved. I used to tell Republicans back when I was more involved in politics, if you're correct in your beliefs, why do you have to make shit up to convince other people? Why not just let the facts speak? Well, politics, everybody lies. I'll just leave that at that. This is the boat many Johnny Depp fans find themselves in today. No, good luck with that, Amber Heard fan.
So this guy, I'm just continuously looking at this guy's site. Like, he has a ton of articles about the Depp Heard thing. So he's pretty much on the same level as Tug as far as his depth into the coverage or obsession thereof, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is, this guy covers almost entirely, I would say 99.9% movies and TV. He doesn't write about comic books at all, except a couple times here and there to prove that the history of comics is something else than it is or whatever. But otherwise than that, like, every single article of his is about TVs and movie shows. What does he even care about the comic book industry then?
Well, that's just it. He's only trying to say, hey, Johnny Depp fans, you're getting this from a Comicsgate person. Look at what Comicsgate is.
I mean, he doesn't buy comics. He doesn't talk about them. He doesn't support any independents I can see even remotely. There's no skin in the game. None.
No, he's just trying to use it as a wedge to drive the Johnny Depp supporters away from listening to Tug. Now, let me ask you something, Heroinberg. You're on the website there. Does he have any kind of an advertisement on it?
Advertisement?
Yeah, like a Google banner ad or anything.
Oh, well, yeah, there's a banner across the top, but it's pretty innocuous. It's like it's a company that sells fonts.
Okay. Yeah, so, but that's probably a Google place to add. The thing is that
it's a Google thing.
Yeah, he's getting advertising dollars driven by traffic to his content, and he's basically mad that it boils down to the fact that he's doing this because he's mad that Tug is getting way more money off the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing than he is, and way more traffic. And guess what? Probably sometime tonight or tomorrow, Tug's going to make money off of you, Mr. the Geek Buzz.
Yeah, because I think Tug and Yellow Flash have coined this particular saying, monetize the stupid.
Well, actually, I think Young Ripa did that first. He called it monetize the haters. Yeah, monetize the haters. But yeah.
Well, I think Yellow Flash and Tug changed it, monetize the stupid or something.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of variations. I mean, several YouTubers use This Week in Stupid now, so it's kind of a spectrum there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't do it as much on stupidity, but I, as part of my live streams, I have what I call This Week in Niche History. That much I do, but
yeah. You get it when you go out to Bounding in the comics and read some stuff from there. You'll find the stupid folks there.
Oh yeah, that's one of the main sources I have for the news I do is Bounding in the comics. They actually have a envelope now, or whatever you call them, a tab, whatever, on the thing there that says the Daily Stupid.
Yep.
Right, so that's what I meant. That was one of them. Yeah.
He's wrapping up. Oh, go ahead.
No. My favorite YouTuber is actually V, Romanian TV, and he's been doing a This Week in Stupid for several years. So, and it's really one of the best. Like, he's amazingly funny. I mean, he's the only guy from Eastern Europe really regularly reporting on world events, which is nuts. You'd think there'd be a lot more.
My favorite is Failed Army.
Oh, yeah. Failed Armies. I watched that on. I don't even watch that on YouTube. I watch that on. What is it? Pluto TV. It's like it's free TV and it's a channel. It's just like nothing but Failed Army over and over and over.
I watch it on YouTube. The YouTube's got the latest videos.
I've checked more of that out. My son loves that too.
Yeah.
He's wrapping things up. He says, because they're so sure they're correct, regardless of what the preponderance of the evidence suggests, they are you repeating. Me and now speak like Bizarro. They are you repeating easily debunked lies and aligning yourself with hashtag Karl Rove, hashtag Lee Atwater, hashtag Steve Bannon, types who produce the equivalent of hashtag Acorn videos. Oh, yeah. Another group that's, by the way, winning in court. All to support and defund an actor with a 3 decades long record of drunken violence and assault. I don't think Amber Heard's been acting for 3 decades, has she? She's not that old.
I think he's referring to Johnny Depp. But...
I know. You're stepping on the bit, Mike.
Sorry.
And doesn't even take into account a debt lawyer connected to Russian. Oh my God, he went Russian. They're everywhere. They're
any
everywhere.
of that have to do? That's just amazing. Like, what is linking any of that to the? And the Acorn thing, that's from 2009.
I know.
The Acorn undercover video thing.
Yeah, it was like his first. It was James O'Keefe's first big video break, and you know I talked with Breitbart, Andrew Breitbart, in an interview about that whole thing. He was like, going through the steps of how he was, how he made it a big thing was that he didn't say here's the video and threw it out there. He like took the first 10 minutes of the video and threw it out there. And then he took the next 10 minutes of video and put it out there like a couple of days later, and you kept people coming back. I'm like, that's genius. But, those videos were not edited in any deceptive fashion whatsoever. Certainly the last ones were not edited. And furthermore, people are going after Sophia Norwitz now because she's putting up unedited videos. You're just unhappy when you show up on tape, I think.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I don't think any SJW can stand the fact when people actually show them video proof of their stupidity.
No. Well, no one really does. It's an affront to your pride. And some people with maturity say, "Wow, I was an idiot. Yeah, okay, I'll fix that." And other people are like, And this doesn't even take into account a Depp lawyer connected to Russian intelligence who was kicked off Depp's case by a judge and then suspended from Twitter. Oh my God, he was suspended from Twitter. Well, just burn him at the stake.
Oh my God, that is like the most. Oh my God, it's like the most horrifying thing that you get that you're not on Twitter. I call them Twidiots for a reason, because I think the more you're on it, the dumber you get.
Twidiots is that's a pretty good coin. Phrase.
There is a ton of some pretty disturbing things online about that umbrella guy that precedes his recent hard-on for Amber Heard.
Oh God!
I'll let someone else reveal those to the uninitiated, which is journalistic speak for I've heard stuff, but I don't know about it, and therefore I'm just going to allude to the fact that it's out there. So there you go. 19 tweets in a rant with next to maybe 1% substantiation in anything, and I'm sure Tug will read all of them again later tonight in a live stream, and just take his wife out to a nice steak dinner tomorrow night on the proceeds.
Yeah, I mean, he'll at the very least probably do it if he's aware of this. If he is aware of that little twit storm or tweet storm, whatever.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
He will most likely make a video on it. He he says that all the time. When they go like this, he will monetize them. He will monetize the stupid.
So, but my biggest question is, yeah, it was like 18 tweets about Tug, but there was that one tweet right there in the middle that mentioned both Richard Meyer and Ethan Van Sciver. And my question is, does Ethan Van Sciver have a stepping stone here? Maybe not a foundation for a case, but a stepping stone for a libel suit. I mean, he called Ethan Van Sciver flat out a Nazi sympathizer, capital N, proper noun.
Well, take a screenshot, send it to Nick Rekieta.
Yep, more than likely. Yeah, again, and I said this earlier too. It just amazes me how they love throwing around the Nazi word. It's kind of funny. It is a clear case of projection there, because it's like everybody else is a Nazi, but yet they're the ones who are truly behaving like
Well,
the Nazis.
maybe they just do not see the error of their ways.
You know what? I forgot we're not even supposed to say the word on YouTube because you get demonetized. But you know what?
What? Not see?
Yeah, I know. I got another 76 hours before they can take money away from me that they're not giving me yet. So, yeah, let's do that. I've got there's my clipper, there's the tweet, there's the cropper, and I'll just look up Mr. Rekieta and we'll just ask him. Wait, I thought it was Rekieta Media, not Nick Rekieta. I thought Nick Rekieta's was gone.
What happened?
Are you doing are you talking about on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's at Rekieta Media now, because
somebody's got an account with the I and the E. Yeah, somebody's got an account up there with the I and the E switched in the last name, and they're presenting as him, but it's not him. So I always have to be careful when I look him up and make sure that I get the Rekieta Media one. Oh, what's new in everybody else's life? This was fun.
Yeah. Well, you guys are into classic cartoons, right? Like
sometimes, yeah. Clutch Cargo.
Well, RJ, if you don't mind, would it be okay because I could pull it up from Bounding in a Comic?
You want to share a screen? You share a screen. Go ahead.
The Flintstones article I was mentioning.
Yeah. George is constructing a spaceship in the background.
I am. Actually, I am.
I covered this week.
Have you seen my latest videos?
I have.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay, so now let's see. All right, so let's see. All right, so let's see. Now this is I covered this the other day, and like even when I saw some of the, or at least one of the. Okay, so I shared it. Do you see it? Oh,
you got it up there.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought. Okay, so you had already allowed. Okay. So yeah, this is the article I covered this the other day. Elizabeth Banks is creating an adult sequel series for the Flintstones. It already sounds terrible. And what they went through here is, like as it says there, Elizabeth Banks, the director of the failed Charlie's Angels reboot, who blamed men for the film's failure, is apparently working on an adult-themed sequel series to the Hanna-Barbera classic Flintstones.
Oh my God! I remember that whole fiasco. First she ridicules men, saying this is not for you, and then we don't go see it, and then she says it's men's fault. Oh my God, that was beautiful.
Yeah. You didn't go see that movie I told you not to see.
Oh my God!
Hey, Pops,
what's this about not seeing things? Oh
no, not again. Anytime we not see something, we get blamed for not seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as I was reading this article online, and I was giving my commentary, I realized something. What Elizabeth Banks and I guess the writer of this now this right here is a scene from I guess what they're doing now,
Oh,
and
the reincarnation look.
I'm thinking to myself,
that looks like the Flintstones is done by Robot Chicken.
Yeah, it does look like that.
Well, it looks to me like somebody regurgitated it.
It's
but as I was reading, yeah, as I was reading what they were wanting to do with this particular series, I got the impression that I guess Elizabeth Banks and then I guess the girl who's writing it, Lindsay Kearns, who's doing the writing on the show. What I'm seeing, what they're trying to do with this Flintstones remake or reboot or whatever, has, I would say, somewhat of a darker tone to All in the Family. Do you guys remember the TV show All in the Family with Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton, Sally Struthers, and Rob Reiner?
Yep.
Stifle, Archie. Stifle.
Archie.
Yeah. And you guys remember how Archie was portrayed kind of as a sympathetic bigot. He would, in other words, his bigotry was more out of ignorance as opposed to like meanness.
Yeah.
Did RJ just leave us?
No, RJ's there.
Yeah. Well, I guess his camera just went off. I guess, but
yeah. And back then, people who were depicted in the realm of Archie Bunker, they were depicted with a sense of humor, right? I mean, George Jefferson was kind of a black Archie Bunker in a lot of ways.
Oh no, he was a black Archie Bunker.
Right.
And he was worse.
Yeah, and both of them were they were depicted in a very humorous fashion. You were supposed to derive entertainment from their foibles.
You cared about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, to my point though, in All in the Family, they depicted Archie as a sympathetic bigot. What I think they're going to go for here, what Elizabeth Banks and Lindsay Kearns are going to go for here, based on what I read in the article, is they're going to just beat up on Fred basically.
Yeah.
So SJW style. Like, okay, here's a clip of a tweet that Lindsay Kearns, who's writing the show, even said. Attention, privileged white evangelicals. It is finally appropriate for you to post memes that say God is on the throne. Go ahead. Like, this is, I guess, something she said in response to, from November 2020. Oh, following the election of Joe Biden. But these people are like, more recent. This is Lindsay Kearns, the girl who's writing this Flintstones reboot. More recently, in January, she wrote, "If you're a white evangelical and you don't want to get lumped in with those kinds of Christians, here's a tip. Denounce white supremacy. Amazing how many people would apparently rather write a dissertation on theological nuances and simply denounce white supremacy." Yeah, you see,
I denounce white supremacy. Now,
this white supremacy thing is silly because the majority of the supremacy that's going on in the world, it's not white.
If anything, it's like the roles have reversed.
No. It's not even that. It's not even white or black. The supremacy is money.
Money. God money.
Yeah, money. I mean, do these people complain about the slave market that's still going on in Africa? No,
of course not.
Do they complain? Do they complain about the slave market that goes on in the American prison system? No. Do they complain about the slave market that goes on in China, where they build iPhones and make shoes
and film Disney?
Yeah. Do they complain about that? No.
No, of course not. But you know,
I mean, obviously, I wasn't gonna try to read the whole article again here, but I just wanted to show you guys the article and just like
Sure.
like as somebody who is somebody who grew up watching a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff. I found this very insulting, especially when I figured out what these two women were doing to what is probably considered one of the most iconic cartoons of all time. I mean,
well, yeah, Fred was always kind of beat up on though because he was the one who had the harebrained ideas and stuff. But this is something that's been in television and pop culture for years. You remember the Bob Newhart show, the one with Suzanne Plachette, the original one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, during one of the later seasons, the writers got together and decided that Suzanne Plachette, her character, was going to have a baby. They were going to, take the story in a new direction, and they sat the plot down and they went over it with Bob Newhart, and he read the pilot script for the new season, and he nodded and basically said and he put it in and said this is really well written. This is funny. This is good. We're like, oh great. He's like, I got one question. Who's going to play Bob? Because he wouldn't do it. He would not play in a role where he got to be the put upon and ridiculed father figure. There was too much of that. So.
Oh, you're talking about the Bob Newhart show? Is that?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, so he would have backed out had they changed the plot in that direction. I see.
Yeah, it was basic. Well, I don't think he would have backed out because I think he was basically telling them in a polite way, no, we're not doing this, because obviously he couldn't back out of the Bob Newhart show. But the writers, were put in their places. No, you're not turning this into your typical dad's a dummy kind of sitcom.
Right. We could just stick with jokes like Norman Borden, the Mormon Doorman.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is that, and I'm sure you guys watched your fair share of Flint. Now, the Flintstones, of course, can be seen on MeTV quite a bit. So, but
I've got the complete season, a complete series in the big hard plastic orange case. It looks like a Cavestone television, and I think it has the original pilot and even some of the Winston cigarette commercials that they did.
Yeah,
because I distinctly remember, Fred and Barney in the front yard, and Betty's painting a fence, and Wilma's pushing the lawnmower, and Fred's like, I can't stand here sitting here watching these women do all the work. And Barney's like, yeah, Fred, let's go in the backyard where we can't see them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is that what made the Flint, now granted, it came out in ran from 60 to 66 originally. In a way, it was kind of The Simpsons before The Simpsons, but it was still fairly G-rated, as compared to The Simpsons. Okay, because you'd have like one of the things I know people have talked about, even on shows like I Love Lucy and the Dick Van Dyke Show, where even though the couple was married, they were still depicted as sleeping in separate beds. Flintstones is no different here, but
yeah, the Flintstones was animated of honeymooners.
From everything when I read this article and when I covered it this past week, I was thinking to myself, they're setting this up to be a darker version of All in the Family. In other words, Fred is basically going to be put into the role of Archie Bunker, but instead of being the sympathetic bigot, they're going to make him the evil Nazi bigot because, because that's what they're going to want to push.
He's going to be a Cro-Magnon supremacist.
Yeah, I mean,
all those Neanderthals, they good for nothing.
It's like, and this animation right here just again reminds me of regurgitation.
And what happens when the phonograph needle birds go on strike? That's
well, because when I was reading, let me see if I can let me look through and see what I can find on some of the here.
Got a baby elephant vacuum cleaner.
Okay, I'll read some of this here just so you guys get a little bit more of what I'm talking about here. Banks' adult-themed sequel series is being produced by Fox, and that Banks is not only producing the series, but she will be voicing a 20-something Pebbles Flintstone.
Okay.
A press release from Fox details the show catches up with the Flintstone family 2 decades after the original, with Fred on the brink of retirement and a 20-something Pebbles embarking on her own career. It also, as the Stone Age gives way to a shiny and enlightened new Bronze Age, the residents of Bedrock will find this evolution harder than a swing from Bam Bam's club.
So the cave millennials are taking them on the enlightened path.
Uh-huh.
That's basically the pitch, I think. The show is being produced by both Warner Brothers Animation and Fox Entertainment. Banks and Max Handelman are executive producing through Brownstone Productions. They are joined by Dana Schinder and Lindsay Kearns, who will be co-executive. Kearns is also writing the pilot script of the show.
I have a question, though. That Pebbles is depicted as 20-something, but weren't Pebbles and Bam Bam eventually depicted as teens in that show?
Yes, they were.
But they were special. Okay. Those
not
were special.
Not in the original Flintstones.
There was a series.
Yeah, they got their own series. Yes, but that was late. That was in the 70s.
Right.
Pebbles and Bam. Where Sally Struthers, again with the All in the Family connection there. Sally Struthers provided the voice of Pebbles in that series, or in that segment. I think that segment was actually part of like the Flintstones Comedy Hour or something like that. Kearns is also writing the pilot script for the show. Her credits include Jurassic World, Camp Cretaceous, where she was a staff writer. She also, but if we went through some of Kearns' tweets here, and based on what I was reading from some of these tweets, my guess is Pebbles. She's gonna have Pebbles sit there and just totally berate Fred for his "quote unquote" Neanderthal thinking.
Well, she'll be too busy standing in the intersection, keeping those rock cars from rolling around Bedrock downtown.
Yeah, I don't know if getting in front of a big stone car is really a bright idea, because I think people would have a harder time stopping those than modern cars today.
Yeah. And getting in front of any car is not a great idea, because, as I always say, gross tonnage equals right of way. So if it's bigger than you, get out of the way.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to unshare this now, but I just wanted to bring this up because I just thought it was just something that would be interesting to talk a little bit about.
Something to see what they do with it. I'm sure they'll screw it up. But, the Flintstones, the original Flintstones, was just an animated, here I am denigrating it now, but it was just an animated version of the Honeymooners. It was
correct, yeah. And the cast, of course, you had the late Alan Reed, who provided the voice of Fred, Gene Vanderbilt, who provided the voice of Wilma, Mel Blanc, who provided the voice of Barney, and then they actually ended up having two voice actresses portraying Betty, because the original voice actress, Bea Benaderet, who was also doing Petticoat Junction at the time, had passed away, I think, in 64 or 65, sometime around there. And then they had to bring somebody else in, to finish off the series for her. But yeah, I was looking at that. I'm thinking, okay, this sounds like it's going to be a darker version of All in the Family. They're gonna have Pebbles sit there and just totally just degrade her, particularly her father.
Is the Great Gazoo going to be trans? Yeah, I would love to see the Great Gazoo get his own. Harvey Korman can't do it, but get his own show. Gabe, thanks for stopping in. We're just kind of shooting the breeze now. We've we hit all the bigger topics, but talking about the Flintstones possibly getting an adult sequel now, a la The Simpsons. Did anybody here read the Flintstones comic that DC put out a handful of years ago, which was part of that whole Hanna-Barbera remake?
Well,
Yeah.
okay, I wasn't aware that DC did a version. I know that I believe Gold Key did a version.
No, this was DC. Gold Key hasn't put out anything for years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
DC did something like 3 or 4 years ago.
I do a segment called "This Day in Niche History." Okay, maybe Flintstones is getting comic recently by DC, but I'm talking about a little further back in time. I think it was. It was either Gold Key or Dell or Charlton, one of the three. I know Charlton did a few Hanna-Barbera stuff as well.
Yeah, there was a Flintstones series on DC, a 12-issue series. I'm putting it in the chat, a link, in 2016.
26. Yeah, I'm talking. Well, the ones I'm talking about are far before 2016.
I know.
Yeah.
And this again was sort of like what you're talking about here, where Fred was put into positions where he had to question everything he believed, because everything every manly thing he was doing was being shown to be stupid, and he was having to evolve. And here you've got, you can almost see the eye roll in Pebbles here. Wilma was the sort of the Rosie the Riveter, we can do it kind of female character. I couldn't get past the first issue. I mean, not because of any of the politics involved in it, but just because it wasn't interesting and it wasn't the Flintstones. I think they did a Booster Gold crossover with this version of the Flintstones too, when they did the Future Quest stuff.
Oh my gosh, really? Good
Booster
God.
Gold, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they crossed it over with Booster Gold, of all people, believe it or not.
Not because he could time travel.
Yeah.
Now, I actually did get almost all of the Scooby Apocalypse books though, because I liked that one. It wasn't. It was just zombie apocalypse, and the Scooby Gang were a little bit more. I think the only kind of thing you could call a woke change to it was that they put Daphne in charge instead of Fred. Fred was more of the eye candy cameraman holder, and he eventually got taken by the zombies.
There was also a pretty decent Scooby Batman cartoon crossover around that time.
Have you guys seen the Scooby? Was it Supernatural crossover?
Oh, that was awesome! Yes, the Supernatural series. They did an episode where they got sucked into a TV set, and they were on Scooby Doo, and it was called. The episode was called Scooby Natural.
Oh, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Oh, can I share something here on a share screen?
Go for it.
This is like one of the things I was just talking about here. And disclaimer: this is not my site.
Yeah. This is the stuff where they were still, capitalizing on the original series. So these books were very much in the vein of the original humor, the original animation.
Right.
Pebbles got her own comic book series for a while, of all things.
This is from the Charlton series right here. So, but this is what I was talking about a few minutes ago. This right, these ones right here.
Yeah, I was just trying to compare the newer one. Seemed like it was more in line with what you were describing with the new series that was being under development. But yeah, the Scooby Natural was the Winchester brothers are zapped into the cartoon. They're animated the whole way through it, and
the older brother was kept on hitting on Daphne.
Yes, and they were like, we can't let them know that supernatural things are real because this is the Scoobies. They pull the rubber mask off the guy and they prove that there's no such thing as ghosts. And of course, in this particular episode, it was all real, and they just lost it. They couldn't cope with reality anymore. They were getting suicidal. It was a very adult kind of Scooby thing, and they had to fix the Scooby Gang. They had to make it look like it had been faked by the time they caught the real supernatural villain. But oh no, look, it was like swamp gas or whatever. It's been too long since I've seen it.
I'd heard some rumors over the years that when they were originally developing Scooby Doo, there were some let's say adult aspects to it that didn't necessarily make the final cut.
Like
one of the things was that they were all that basically the kids were all smoking pot, for example, and that's why Shaggy and Scooby had the
Scooby snacks.
Yeah.
Well, not just the Scooby snacks, but had the appetite they did because they were potheads.
Yeah, those are hash brownies.
I grew up watching Scooby. I never knew any of this until much later, you know.
I think it's one of those things that you look at in hindsight and you're like, you know, it would make sense if they were. And it was never anything that was obviously they were never smoking anything in the cartoon. They were just teenage kids, and Shaggy just was a bottomless pit, and so was Scooby. But yeah, since either Shaggy liked dog food or those were some really good brownies.
Well, I'd always wondered if those Scooby snacks, if they were actual like dog biscuits or if they were like cookies or something like that, like Cookie Crisp or something like that. I don't know if you guys remember the Cookie Crisp cereal or not.
I remember that, but yeah, why would Shaggy like them if they were dog biscuits? You know, it did.
Shaggy eats everything, just like Scooby.
Well, this is true. I mean, the sandwiches he puts together have ingredients that don't go together. Yeah, Mark Russell did Snagglepuss. You're right, Harold Berg. There was a lot of interesting. I don't know. I really would have liked to have seen a cohesive Future Quest imprint, just ongoing. Just put them all in there. Birdman, Frankenstein Jr., and they were doing that for a while.
You know what I didn't like about Future Quest is that the artist on the first book issue, didn't continue.
Did they get somebody else after?
Yeah, that's what hooked me. The art, the concept in the art in the first book, and then next thing you know, the concept continued, but not the art, not the artist. It looked like Alex Raymond. It looked like Toth. Art, right? I'm going like, okay, yeah, this is it. Yeah, all right, and then boom, nothing. It's issue 2.
I was there for the story, and I think I like it when they can make it all look sense. They were redesigning all these characters to make them look like they belonged in the same universe. But then when they started trying to do like everybody, and it was like, oh, okay, let's put the Banana Splits in there. Let's put Snagglepuss in there. Like, no, stop, too far.
Well, you know what's kind of funny too, because Charlton, Dell, Goldkey throughout like I think starting as early as the late. Well, I mean, with Dell, you could even date it all the way back to the 30s, where these companies had this thing about taking properties from elsewhere and turning them into comics. Dell was, of course, one of the first ones with. Well, actually, no. Dell did. I'm thinking of David McKay Publications. Actually, David McKay Publications, when they were in the 30s, they were bringing the King Feature Syndicate strips to the comic book scene. With Popeye, Popeye Thimble Theater with Popeye, Olive Oil, also with like Flash Gordon and Mandrake the Magician. So,
yeah, and they were taking like television and radio properties and turning them into comic books as well. You had things like Dale Arden. Not Dale Arden. That's Flash Gordon. Dale Evans, the cowgirl. She had her own comic book series. Bonanza,
Gene Autry, Bob Hope, Alan Ladd. A lot of actors in the 50s and 60s had their own comic series as well. You're right. Yeah. I've seen that. Particularly,
like was it Space Ranger Corbett?
Yeah. I remember that. PCA, yes, I did see the Banana Splits horror movie. We have the review on criticalblast.com. I actually liked it, and I would love to see them move forward with the sequel that was hinted at the end of that episode. I thought it was interesting that the Banana Splits were not really the banana splits in this movie because they were still fictional in it. Banana Splits, the horror movie, was basically the banana splits were animatronic characters that went out on the stage and did their like Chuck E. Cheese thing. And they got a bad software update and began killing everybody in the studio. Because
is that the concept? Oh my God.
Yes. Well, the show was being canceled, and it was going through its last stage, and there were like Banana Splits groupies, like goth groupies who were Banana Splits fans, and the kid who was a big Banana Splits fan gets the backstage tour because it was his birthday, and that just happens to be the day that they all go off their nut, and they're just like stalking around, and it was like. It was a gore fest. It was not just like, oh, they've gone bad and they're knocking people out. No, there was like blood spurting from dismembered limbs.
Okay, so basically it was Chucky.
It was Chucky, but with the banana splits.
Yeah, I posted that link I posted that link in the chat. It actually reminds me a lot of the more recent movie too, the one with Nicolas Cage, Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
What it's a animatronic machines go wild and kill people movie, same as that, but it was produced in the past year. I just saw it a couple of days ago. Nick Cage is the only recognizable actor in it, but yeah, it's pretty fun.
So that's two movies that have done their best to try to beat Five Nights at Freddy's to the theater.
Exactly, it's like they both beat Five Nights at Freddy's. You're right.
Because that's all Five Nights at Freddy's is like
yeah,
the machines go nuts. It's like the Terminator, but furry.
That's ridiculous.
Right? Wow. They all have the premise of oh, you have to spend overnight in this place, and if you survive, blah blah blah.
Yeah. So, George, I hear you working on stuff. Have you got a full spaceship put together yet?
No, but I can show you. I can show you what I've done so far.
Show us what you got right now.
All right, give me a second. Just gonna.
And yeah, PCA. When I say it's on the website, the reviews, that website for everybody who is curious is criticalblast.com, where pop culture gets blasted.
All right, I got to put on some underwear. Give me a sec.
TMI.
Jesus.
Oh boy!
Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah,
yes, you did.
This is YouTubing.
Oh, somebody's going to try to clip that one. All right. So, okay, we're going down.
Yes, we are.
This represents the second spool of plastic that I'm opening up to do the spaceship, and I just want to tell you, I already went through 1 kilogram of plastic and doing the testing and all that stuff. Oh, give me a sec. Let me get my.
Now this is the spaceship that comes with your last Indiegogo, which was Joe King, saving the world again for the first time.
It's saving everyone again for the first time.
Saving everyone again, right? Because it's bigger than the world. It was the universe, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
Joe King delivers pizza.
Okay, come on, focus. Focus.
Have you tried turning it off and back on again?
Oh shoot, yeah, that would be good. That'd be a good idea.
Hey, there it is.
Okay, the autofocus is not working. Okay, so I'll just manually focus it. There we go. All right, so here's the plastic. Here's the next kilogram of plastic. All right.
Okay, so what's a kilogram get turned into?
Oh, good question. I will show you. The kilogram gets turned into one of these. More of these. Okay, there we go. Thank God for widescreen. Another one of these. Some more pieces.
Okay, it's blurry.
And of course, the first pod.
This better come with some IKEA instructions.
Well, no, it's gonna be assembled, right? It's either gonna be fully assembled, partially assembled, like
there it is,
front, middle, and back, or if someone wants all the whole thing in pieces, I can just send them the pieces. But that'll be near fulfillment.
Got it.
And
boom.
Did you hear that? Hear that? Listen to this. Listen. Wait. Okay, watch. Snaps. This is right.
So that snaps in there, and then that.
It snaps.
It seems like a pretty simple assembly there.
Yeah, I made it that way, so that way, it's literally not rocket science.
To build a rocket.
Yeah, basically. So here's another back, but this one has the neck associated to it. See the neck here, right?
Right. Now you're gonna have linchpins in this that like hold everything together.
No. This is based on A and B connect, and C locks them in.
Yeah. Oh, that's kind of what I meant.
Okay. And then of course a little dab of glue, and you're done.
And we're back to the Flintstones.
Okay, so there you go. See, look at this. You see that? See this long strip here?
Yeah.
And that long strip there?
Yeah. They're going to interlock.
So you have a lock here, right? And then you see it right there. You see the part right there? Okay, give me a sec. There you go. Beautiful.
Saucer separation. You could do saucer separation.
No, there's none of that shenanigans in this. It doesn't make sense. And of course, the top pieces. There you go.
Now, do you have a fully assembled ship yet?
No. No, I don't, because right now I'm actually I'm doing modifications. I'll show you the difference between the original gray.
Because you still got that like warp ring.
Yeah, I got the warp ring to print out. Just pull this away. All right, so right off the bat, the difference between the gray,
right,
and the blue is that. Let me get a pointer here. Okay, so if there's going to be lights here, the gray did not have the lights. All right, and right here, the blue has an additional protruding piece here. The gray did not have it. It's some of these little features that. Oh, by the way, you see how small the lights are.
I'm not froze.
See how small the lights are here?
Yeah.
No, George froze there for a moment.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm back. All right. So there's lights here. How small they are, but they're big here.
I see that.
Right?
So, now, are those going to be a different color than the blue?
Yeah, it's there's going to be. Oh, well, I can show you what the.
I was waiting for George to say, yeah, they're going to be functioning LEDs and they'll blink red and green.
Oh, no. not in this version. A future version, yes. I have to get a CSA approval to do that kind of stuff. These are the different lights that get put into these holes around the ship, right? Let me just push back here a little. So now, while this is blue, the fits in here. What fits inside this section is green.
Okay.
And in some places it's yellow. So it's going to be a quite a brightly lit, a very colorful ship. And additionally, the gray version, on the edge of the gray version, it was just the hull of the ship.
Right.
The edge of the color version Oh, I'll pick it up later.
It's all over the floor.
Yeah. And the edge of the color version, there's an indent, there's a groove where I will actually have a long green strip going from one end to the other.
Right, you have a side light.
Yeah, the side light.
Cool.
Yeah, and of course, the gray version, it was one piece. The blue version is two pieces.
Very, very, very glad I backed this here.
For the reason why, two reasons: for efficiency and getting it printed, on multiple machines.
Right.
Right, because each piece here is about 11 hours. The front end and the back end of these is 11 hours. This would be like 24 hours.
Wow.
So, and also the fact that it's more fit. Let me just.
So you can have two machines printing the front and the back, and it takes 11 hours, or one machine printing the whole thing, and it takes 24.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do the same thing when I'm pulling large SQL queries, so I understand that concept entirely.
Yeah. Let's see if I found a piece. All right. So, what other things is? Let me. Did you hear that? Oh, God,
I hear that.
Love it. So let me push this aside. All right. So you see the bottom piece here?
Yeah.
Oh, the bottom piece here. It was two pieces. The wings and the bottom piece was two pieces. In the new one, not this one, right? This is an older version. In the new one, it's going to be one piece.
Okay.
So this piece here that appears right here, it's going to be one piece.
You're going through a lot of plastic to get it right.
Well, I have to. It's important because I need every piece to have a perfect fit, and because if there's a customer who wants it in pieces, they can't be sitting there trying to figure out, how the pieces connect and what he has to shave and stuff like that. He just gets it and says, "Oh, okay," like.
Again, we know what it sounds like when it hits the floor.
Yeah, it's like this piece here, right? This the neck.
Yeah.
Right. You just slip it in
and snap.
There you go.
Very nice.
The fit is perfect. I mean,
I just thought it would have,
it just doesn't come. It doesn't even wiggle or jiggle in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You got to really tug it to pull it out.
It's that perfect, right?
Very cool.
And if you do it upside down, because it's the piece is asymmetrical, multiple ridges and all that stuff, it doesn't fall off unless you do that.
Pull at it, yeah, and probably be even more secure once the rest of it's put together because there'll be lock and key kind of stuff.
The lock and key, but the plan is to have at least three sections of locks, so that way the two lock and the third is a confirmation. So it's the third lock that really makes this a solid piece, absolutely solid. And why I have to go to that extraordinary level of work, because you see this is the pod. All right, let me walk you through this. So this is the front end, of course, and there's going to be a light here.
Okay.
This is the back end where there's going to be the tail, right? So it's another piece. It's about that much bigger. That much bigger. But here's where the wing actually fits, slides in, right?
Right.
The wing, but this gap here is where the warp ring comes in,
and that's going to go through the wing and through that piece, and thus lock them both together.
Right. So the warp ring, it's two semicircles coming together, but they're slightly overlapping each other.
Yeah.
Like not like overlapping, but to the side, like that.
Right.
So when they come in like that to the side, there's a hole. There's a hole right here. Half a hole on one side, half a hole on this side, and that half a hole there
lines up with that.
Lines up with this peg. You put that peg in there. The warp ring doesn't come off anymore. You can't pull it out. When you place the wing in, it locks the whole thing in place. So a dab of glue here, a dab of glue here, a dab of glue. See what I did there?
I see that. Staying topical.
The whole warp ring system is lock solid, and that's based on the two pieces coming in. Piece one, piece two is the lock. Piece three is the confirmation.
Cool. So the next question is, when do I get my chicken? When do I get my spaceship?
It's going to be delivered in December. It's going to be December. It's going to be a December delivery. Definitely before Christmas. Everybody's definitely going to get this before Christmas.
Because it's going to take a long time to print them. I mean,
what's that?
It's going to take a long time.
I have that covered. The reason why I did 30 days, and is that, and plus, I've also got the campaign running on Kickstarter just as a test. I will bring it back. I will reopen the campaign for the overprint. I already sent the order into the printer. I told them I got this many orders. I need you to do 20% overprint. So the overprint I'm going to make available through my online direct store. So if as people see this become more a reality, I'm already getting people contacting me directly saying, I want in on this. I'm sorry I missed this. I didn't believe this. I thought this was bullshit. There's no way you can get a spaceship, and I see it. It's real, and I want in. I said, okay, fine. I'll send you a special link. I'll put you into the mailing list. Blah, blah, blah. But I already budgeted or scheduled the spaceship, right?
Right.
2 months.
Okay.
It's a 2-month print schedule. That's it. Right. These guys here. It's a 1 month print schedule.
Now those guys don't come with this, do they? Are they another?
People actually purchased this with a campaign. This was available in the campaign.
That's right. It was. Yeah. I remember now. I didn't get that. Dang it. Oh well.
You want this?
I can't afford it now.
That was great,
we can work something
George.
out. No, but this is a 1 month print schedule. The spaceship's a 2 month print schedule, and that's based on multiple printers working in unison.
Yeah.
And of course, I have more than enough time. What is it? 6 months. Just a little more than 6 months to get the book finished, because the first book is done. It's going to be at the printers in 2 months. The first book is going to go to press. The second book will go to press 5 months later. So that way I don't overwhelm the printer on the printing of the books.
Right.
So everything's spaced out nice and evenly.
We have an important announcement.
No stress.
We have an important announcement from one of the new editors at IDW. This is just in from Heather Antos. Fun fact: if someone doesn't want to have sex with you, they aren't playing games. They just don't want to have sex with you.
I think we all knew that, but
this is why incels are mad. Not because they're not having the sex, but because they're being antagonized by the antagonists.
I don't know how to take that. I mean, that sounds like a straightforward statement.
Yeah. Well, to me, I have to assume that IDW is putting out a title that's going to be about people who don't have sex with people. Because otherwise, why else would the editor be out talking about it, because that's her job is to.
You know what?
Or maybe she just thinks of herself as just so hot that she's like putting it out there. Hey boys, look at me. I'm just so hot. You can't have me.
No. You know what? You know what I think it is. I've heard so many reports of IDW. So many people talk about IDW losing money, constantly losing money, all that stuff. And this is just a suspicion based on everything so far. I think they brought in this what's her name, Heather girl.
Heather
Antos.
This Heather girl. Way to be sexist, George.
Okay, well, I think they brought in this person to work in the company, and so when the company goes bankrupt, they use her as the excuse.
In a way that is kind of true though, because I know Yellow Flash has mentioned before. She was kind of the one responsible for Valiant going under.
Well,
she was at Valiant. She was the one who was supposedly caused Valiant to go under. And of course, we already know that IDW has been losing money, because I know that Tug actually did a report on that. In fact.
Well, okay. Well, then that settles it.
It seems like a done deal. Guys, I think we've beat all the topics to death now. So everybody's gone to sleep, it looks like. I think it's be a good time to wrap things up. So y'all want to plug your stuff before we leave here. Mike, we'll start with you up there in the top, and then we'll just go in a circle.
Okay. Well, Monday through Friday, the Mic Stand, Monday through Thursday, normally do like a niche newscast. And then on Friday nights with my co-host, Batgoat, we've been doing a historic comic retrospect where we've been going back to looking through, comics of old. Where we just got finished with September of 1937 yesterday, where I looked through Feature Funnies #1 from Quality Comics' first foray into the comic book scene. A special note: tomorrow night, and RJ, you're welcome for this as well. Doing kind of an open mic panel forum tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about, kind of get everybody caught up with the Vic case, Vic Mignogna. I don't know how much of that you guys know about. Basically, it's a Me Too situation.
There's still a case.
It's in appeals right now. We're waiting on appeals. Okay. But you still have a lot of the other stuff. Like you have, like, for example, Emmett Plant's been active lately trying to get Vic canceled from conventions. But the one that happened this weekend that Vic was at basically just wouldn't have it. So we're going to be looking at all that. But RJ, you're of course welcome to join in as well. I'll probably be posting the StreamYard link early in the chat. And as always, it's the Mic Stand is on YouTube here Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. You can probably figure out where you get it in your time zone from that information. Basically, I cover niche. I cover the world of niche: anime, cartoons, comics, manga and pro wrestling, more or less from more of a nostalgic standpoint. I mean, I do, like, as I said, do kind of the niche newscast, pick out stories like the one I showed you tonight, and, read through them and comment on them. But that's basically what the Mic Stand is, it's just a way of trying to get people to talk more and just get conversations going and just get the information out there. So I know I've been rambling on here, but RJ, as I said, if you want to drop in, and then I'll have the link up. You can join us in the chat as well and give your 2 cents as well when we're talking.
All right. Heroinberg, we could play a trailer, but I don't think anybody's here to watch it now. Next time hit up early.
Yeah, we'll hit you early next time with our brand new episode, which in fact took 4 months to produce, including editing, and then It actually came out last Wednesday. So,
and that would be the episode of Heroinberg, the live action chapters that
that are connected with our comic book, which
exactly,
yes, which is out as well in about 130 stores now. And yeah, I'm just still contacting lots of stores week by week for that one.
All right.
Can we get a link to Heron and Mike go into the chats?
Yeah, drop your links into the private chat so we can. Well,
all right,
Mike.
Yeah, we're not leaving here until we get those links. Gosh darn it.
Okie dokes.
Well, I'm gonna go grab mine right now. Then to my channel here. Well, in fact, I'll probably drop 2 links. I'll drop the one specifically to my channel.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, they can find everything else underneath that.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna get my link. It's in the bathroom. I'll be right back.
No surprise, George has a missing.
And people say I have a filter problem.
We didn't have to watch George eating eggs and mayonnaise and pickles.
Did you see my stream? I was eating a pizza with tzatziki and forgot some olives and I don't know what was it, something else. And while I was eating, Jazz Grab was having whale songs, blasting on the chat. It was such a ridiculous, absolutely absurd live stream, and I got over 450 views on it. It's one of my highest streams I've ever had.
But what kind of Canadian voodoo is this? Where you get 458 people to watch food? We're sitting here talking about real issues, and
RJ, you got my link in there, right?
Yeah, we both put it in. We both hit it at the same time. I did it first, so you owe me a Coke, RJ. That's how it works.
Well, it looks like it's first on my side, but that's because I had no.
Repaste yours. Repaste yours in there into the chat.
I see Heroinberg's is in the chat too. It's above where I posted, or it's above where he posted. Anyway, it's in there. Okay. Link to the new episode for heroinberg.com season 2 video. George, you have a link. Probably
just look me up, George Peter Gatsis. That's it. And nothing special.
Yeah, and I think this stream helped me get a couple more subscribers because when I looked over at my thing, now I was at 116 before this all started. I'm now up to 118.
Hey,
which for me is the highest number I've had, believe it or not.
I subbed to you in the last stream that we were on.
Yeah, I'm at that point now where I'm like, I wake up in the morning and as I'm getting ready to go to work, I'll turn the computer on and I'll check YouTube. Says how many hours I'm at now. It's like last night it was like 76 hours, and then I turned it on. It's like 85 hours. We went backwards. How does that happen? I know how it happens, but I feel like the white queen, the red queen in Through the Looking Glass. You know, sometimes you have to run faster to stay in one place. You want to go somewhere, you got to run a lot faster than that. So as things are dropping off 12 months ago, sometimes I lose more hours than I gain in a night. That's the fun of YouTube. So, the trick to that is to quit working and drop a stream every 2 hours. Literally, I don't know what young Ripa does for a living other than this. He's on all the time.
I just 5 nights a week as well, and I don't make any money. I end up having to pay like $25 a StreamYard in order to do this because for unlimited streaming you have to pay. So, And
as we turn off, I will turn on my light so that you can all see me better. Guys, thanks for popping in. It's been an interesting chat.
Good night,
covered a round of things. Yeah, good night, Heroinberg. Everyone in the chat, whoever you, that one you that's still there. Thanks for sticking with us the whole end. It's probably Heroinberg because he's able to post in the chat. So never mind.
And hello to everybody on the replay.
Hello to everyone on the replay.
Yep.